All right, for number 12 here, we are evaluating the placement and usage of this underlined on one hand. So let's read the context of it. The first time I visited the Art Institute of Chicago, I expected to be impressed by its famous large paintings. On one hand, I couldn't wait to view painter George Seurat's 10-foot wide, blah, blah, blah. So, what does on one hand mean? If you started your sentence with on one hand, that is setting up some contrast, right? Because if you have on one hand, then we are sort of expecting on the other. But there's not actually any contrast being set up, right? We're being told that I expected to be impressed, and then that's sort of elaborated upon by I couldn't wait to see this painting, right? So there's not really any contrast happening. On one hand probably isn't the way to go. So let's cross out A. What about B, for instance? That's looking pretty good, right? I expected to be impressed by its famous large paintings. For instance, like as an example, right? I couldn't wait to view painter George Seurat's Sunday afternoon, blah, blah, blah. So, for instance, is looking like a pretty good example because that's a good transition into this sort of specific example of why, quote, I expected to be impressed, right? So B is looking good. What about C? However. However, if you put however, that means you are about to say something contrary or contrasting to what was countering, to what was mentioned before. Again, like but, right? However, this doesn't counter what was said previously in any way. Again, it just sort of elaborates and expands on it. So C is going to be out because there's no counter here. I expected to be impressed, and sort of a bit of an explanation actually, right? Because I couldn't wait to view this painting. Lastly, D. Similarly. So that means, of course, that what you're about to say is going to be somehow similar or analogous to what was said before. In this case, it's definitely on the same topic, right? But it's not similar. There's no similarity here. We're just expanding upon the idea that I expected to be impressed. So D is out, which leaves us, of course, with B.